Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Fatima Cigarettes, best of all long cigarettes, brings you Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. 2 armed bandits have robbed a large jewelry store in your city. One of the suspects escapes. One is apprehended. He's identified as a friend of yours. Your job, send him to prison.
If you want a long cigarette, smoke the best of all long cigarettes. Smoke Fatima. Fatima is the long cigarette which contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos superbly blended to make Fatima extra mild. And that's why Fatima has a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette. That's why Fatima is doubling and redoubling its smokers. So, if you want a long cigarette, smoke the best of all long cigarettes. Smoke Fatima.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, February 8th. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Ben Romero. The boss is Thad Brown, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. I was on the way over from the city hall, and it was 8:35 p.m. when I got to the second floor of the Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. Treatment room.
Joe, hi.
Hi, Doc. Ben, how's it going?
Okay. It hurt for a while. Doc gave me an injection.
1/6 of a grain of morphine, Novocaine injection.
The bullet's still in your shoulder?
Doc's about ready to take it out.
As soon as I get the wound cleaned, here's the soap and water, nurse. Alcohol sponge, please.
How's it look, Doctor?
Now, there's the x-ray. Shallow penetrating wound in the deltoid area. Sludge, larger than the soft tissue right here.
Oh, yeah.
No bone involvement. Okay, the bullet was spent.
That's good. Feel okay?
Sure.
Nurse, methylate applicators, please. Thanks. Let's see now.
Where'd you leave Tyler, Joe?
Interrogation room. Reynolds and Thompson are with him.
Let me have the probe, nurse. Yeah. Feel anything, Romero?
No.
That's it. You hear that?
Hear what?
Located the slug with a probe.
Oh.
Nurse, forceps. Thanks. Here we go. Oh, steady.
You call your wife?
No, she don't worry.
Here it is, boys. On the market for evidence?
Yeah, give it to me, will you? I will.
Nurse, sterile saline solution. Irrigate the wound.
No sign of Tyler's partner, huh, Joe? Guy got me?
No, not yet, no.
Sterile dressings, please.
How long did you know this Tyler? Before he went wrong, I mean.
I met him in the Army, helped him line up a job when he got out. It's too bad.
Sure is funny. Meeting a friend of yours pulled an armed robbery. Must have surprised you, huh?
Yeah, kind of. You want me to drive you home when the doc's finished here?
Let's go back to the office and talk to Tyler first.
Okay. Is that all right, Doc?
No. You're staying right here, Romero, till tomorrow morning. If you haven't got a temperature by then, I might release you.
Oh, it's only a flesh wound, Doc. I feel all right.
I'm not taking any chances with gunshot wounds. If infection set in and you were laid up, I'd have the pension committee to answer to. You're staying here.
Sounds like an order.
It is. You can pick them up in the P&F ward tomorrow morning.
Okay. You gonna need anything, Ben?
Yeah. I phoned to tell my wife I won't be home for dinner.
His name was Max Tyler, white, male American, age 32. Dark hair, brown eyes, medium build, married, father of twin boys. He was a friend of mine. We served together in the Army overseas, and when the war finished, I came back to my job on the force, and Max went back to his old job. It didn't fit him anymore. He stopped working and started drinking. His wife didn't help much. Max started with small trouble, but it grew fast. On the afternoon of February the 8th, Tuesday, Ben and I surprised 2 men holding up a Main Street jewelry shop. Shots were exchanged, and Ben received a flesh wound in the shoulder. One of the hold-up men escaped. The other one was apprehended. His name was Max Tyler. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Joe. Glad you got here. Tyler says he won't talk to anybody but you.
Okay, boy. Thanks for standing by.
Sure. I'll be outside. You need anything?
Max,
Joe?
you're in deep this time. You shot a cop.
I didn't. This guy was with me. I didn't fire once.
You were in on the job.
Yeah.
Then don't expect presents.
I don't expect anything, Joe. Glad you came back. I don't want to talk to those other cops.
I work in the same department they do, same job.
Well, it's easier to talk to you.
What's your story?
I was crazy to try it. No alibis, Joe, but I didn't know what I was doing, believe me. I just didn't realize.
I won't buy it, Max. You told me the same thing 14 months ago when they picked you up for those bum checks you were passing.
Sure, I hung some paper, but I'm no hood, Joe. You know that. I was drinking. I needed dough for Dorothy and the kids. You gotta believe me. I need a break.
You said that before, too. I went to bat for you, got off with 6 months and 3 years probation. Now you turn up with another caper.
I know, Joe, I know. I'm sorry.
You're sorry once, Max, and it works, but one free ride's enough for anybody. Now, that's it.
Did I say I wanted that kind of a break? I'll serve my time, Joe. I'll serve every day I owe.
And then what can you tell me you couldn't have told the other cops?
I want to ask you a favor.
Yeah?
I know you're going to hook me on this. So while I'm doing my time, Dorothy and the kids are staying with relatives out in Inglewood. If you're... Well, just keep an eye on them, you know, Joe. I don't mean dough. Dorothy can work with... Kind of watch out for them, huh? Give them a break, Joe. It's not their fault. You do it, Joe?
Yeah. Sure, I'll take care of it. Now, you do something for me.
Anything you want, guy.
Let's have the straight story. Who was the guy with you on that holdup this afternoon?
Cresta, George Cresta, you know him.
Out of Folsom, short guy, black hair?
Yeah, he's got a room above the Red Owl Bar down on East 3rd near Broadway. That's where he hangs out.
Where can we find Cresta now?
Oh, maybe there, I don't know. I'll give you a list of the places he goes. Some of his friends I've met. He sure roped me in. Said there wasn't going to be any rough stuff.
You were carrying an S&W 38.
Sure. When they got outside the jewelry shop, Cresta jammed the gun in my hand. I had to put it away, get it out of sight. Believe me, Joe, he roped me into this. It sounds like an alibi, I know,
This
but
is your second time around, Max. It sounds like one.
Okay, I got nothing coming. Don't forget about Dorothy and the kids. Huh?
I promised you. Now, you want to give me a full statement on the holdup now?
Anything you say, Joe.
I'll call for a stenographer.
Joe.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I am.
I believe you. You got the feeling too late, that's all. Max Tyler was arraigned in municipal court 2 days later. Bail was set at $10,000. 3 days after that came his preliminary hearing in municipal court. At his arraignment in Superior Court, 5 weeks after he'd been apprehended, Tyler entered a plea of not guilty. A date was set for his trial in Superior Court. Meantime, the hunt for George Cresta, Max's accomplice, went on. There wasn't a sign of him. Our informants had no lead on him, and the all-points bulletin containing all the information we had on Cresta brought in nothing. On Monday, March 22nd, the trial of Max Tyler was held in Superior Court. Ben and I were subpoenaed to appear. The victim of the holdup, the jewelry store manager, was the first to testify. He was questioned by both the prosecutor and the counsel for the defense. He left the stand at 11:25 a.m.
If it please, Your Honor,
Counsel for the defense.
before the next witness testifies, I'd like permission to approach the bench.
Permission granted. Counsel for the prosecution may also approach.
Wonder what that's all about, Joe.
Something's up.
Hey, look. Judge is shaking his head. Public defender's going back to the counsel's table.
Counsel for the defense.
Your Honor, it is my client's desire to change his plea to guilty.
Defendant rise and face the court. Max Tyler, is that your true name?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the 12th day of March of this year, in Superior Court, Department 83, City and County of Los Angeles, State of California, you've heretofore been arraigned on the charge of robbery in the first degree. At that time, you pled not guilty to the charge in question. Is it now your desire to change that plea?
Yes, sir, it is.
You've reached this decision of your own free will.
Yes, I have.
There's been no force employed, no promise of gratuity or reward to induce you to reach this decision.
No, sir.
Counsel for the prosecution.
Yes, Your Honor. Max Tyler, on the 12th day of March of this year in Superior Court, City and County of Los Angeles, State of California, you are arraigned on the charge of robbery in the first degree. That time you entered a plea as set forth in this information. How do you now plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Is it stipulated that at the time of the commission of the robbery, the defendant was armed with a deadly weapon, to wit, a revolver?
So stipulated.
Court to fix the degree of robbery as robbery of the first degree.
Your Honor, in the interest of justice, the people move to dismiss count 2, assault with a deadly weapon.
At this time, Your Honor, the defendant waives time for sentencing and asks that he be sentenced immediately.
Just a moment. Max Tyler, it's the judgment of this court that on the 8th day of February of this year, you did enter the premises at 23108 East Main Street in the city, and there did attempt the felonious taking of personal property in the possession of another from his person in immediate presence and against his will. Further, said attempt was made while you were armed with a dangerous and deadly weapon. Max Tyler, this court finds you guilty of robbery in the first degree. Count 2 is dismissed.
Does it, Joe?
Decision of this court that you be returned to the county jail. The sheriff will transfer you to the state penitentiary where you will serve the sentence as prescribed by law. Court recessed for 15 minutes.
Hey, Joe. Miss Tyler over there, she's taking it pretty hard.
Yeah, come on, we better go see her. Hello, Dorothy.
I love him, Joe. What am I going to do without him? Children.
I'll give it to you straight, Dorothy. You didn't do much to keep Max out of this. You drank right along with him. You don't
Joe.
deserve those kids. That's my opinion.
Please, I know it. Don't make it any harder. Don't.
I'll do anything I can for the kids, Dorothy. That's all.
What am I going to do without him? I can't be all alone without Max. It's not right. It's not right.
Neither's armed robbery. Goodbye, Dorothy. Before the end of March, Max Tyler was delivered to San Quentin State Penitentiary, where he started serving his term. His wife, Dorothy Tyler, got a job as a telephone operator. She and her children continued living with her relatives down in Inglewood. I helped them out whenever I could. 6 months went by. Every 2 weeks, faithfully, Tyler wrote me a letter from prison. I answered most of them. While Ben and I worked on other jobs, the search for George Cresta went on. We failed to uncover a single lead. 10 months passed. Tuesday, January 16th, 1949, 4 p.m. I checked in for work as usual.
Hi, Joe. Cold out, huh?
Yeah. Did you pick up the mail?
Mm-hmm. There's a letter in your box from San Quentin.
Tyler, huh?
How's he doing, anyway?
Good. Clean record. Got himself a pretty fair job in the prison library.
Yeah.
I talked to the warden up there. Says Tyler ought to be eligible for parole in about a year if he keeps his nose clean.
You going to bat for Tyler again?
I don't know. See what happens.
How can you see anything in that guy? He's giving you nothing but trouble.
Oh, a lot of people giving him the same. Maybe that explains it.
Not for me, it doesn't. I wouldn't trust him with dirty laundry.
I get it. Robbery Friday.
Oh, Joe, this is Dorothy Tyler. I got to talk to you.
Yeah, Dorothy, what's the matter?
I found Cresta. I saw him.
What?
George Cresta. I know where he is. I saw him downtown. I followed him to his place.
You sure it was him?
I'm positive. He's staying at 134 Jesse Street. It's a rooming house just off Alameda. 134 Jesse.
Got it. Thanks, Dorothy. Come on, Ben. 8 minutes later, Ben and I were interviewing the landlord at 134 Jesse Street, a cheap rooming house down on the south end of the city. The landlord's name was Peterson. We showed him Cresta's mug shot, and he told us he was in room 11. We went up a dark, narrow stairway to the second floor.
And here we are, number 11.
All right, stand clear. I'll try the door.
Mm-hmm.
It's open.
Yeah. Joe, have a look. He's asleep.
He's passed out. Come on, slip the cuffs on him.
That was easy.
All right, I got his gun.
He's been drinking, all right. He'll have a big hangover.
He'll have a long time to get over it. George Cresta was booked at county jail on suspicion of robbery. 2 months and 3 weeks later in Superior Court, he was tried and convicted of assault with a deadly weapon and first-degree robbery and sentenced to the state penitentiary. The day after Cresta was sentenced, I was called to the office of Chief of Detectives Thad Brown.
Friday, this Max Tyler is coming up for parole in a couple of months. He's a friend of yours, isn't he?
That's right, in a way.
You've been writing letters to the warden. You've talked to the parole board about him. Understand you're helping on his kids.
A few presents. They haven't had much of a break. They're just youngsters.
You're working hard to get Tyler's parole. Do you think he's worth it?
Well, I was off both him and his wife, and then she gave us that tip about Cresta, and Tyler's got such a good record up at Q, I figured they'd earned another chance.
You're sticking your chin out, Joe, helping a con to get a parole. I think you'll realize that.
Well, I believe he's a good risk now, Chief. He's pretty weak in some things. He needs direction, that's all. His wife's getting better. She might help more than she did.
I hope both of them are worth it.
If anything happens, I know I'm going to get it from all sides.
You really think some men deserve another chance, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
I wouldn't want you working for me if you didn't.
2 more weeks went by. Tuesday, April the 19th. Ben came down with a bad cold and had to lay off work. At the same time, a new gang started a hold-up campaign among the liquor stores out in the Wilshire district. A new rash of armed robberies broke out in the central area. There was an attempted bank robbery. It was a bad week. Ben got back to work on Saturday.
Rough time, huh, Joe?
Busy, yeah. Did you beat that cold all right?
Sure, I feel much better. Doctor gave me some new medicine. Works good.
That's fine. Maybe I'll knock off early tonight if nothing's doing.
That's a good idea. Shouldn't be too much tonight.
Teletype for you. Just came in.
Oh, thanks, Larry.
Sure.
What's the matter, Joe? What is it?
Max Tyler. He broke out of prison this morning.
You are listening to Dragnet, authentic stories of your police force in action. And now, here's an authentic report from Fatima Cigarettes.
In 1949, Fatima doubled, tripled, and quadrupled its smokers.
In 1950, enjoy Fatima yourself.
You'll find Fatima extra mild.
Because Fatima is the long cigarette which contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobacco superbly blended to make Fatima extra mild.
You'll find Fatima tastes much better.
Fatima's superb blend gives you a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette.
You'll find Fatima tops in cigarette quality.
Fatima has always stood for the best in cigarette quality. For a new year of great smoking enjoyment, buy Fatima in the appealing golden yellow package. You'll agree, Fatima is the best of all long cigarettes.
In the course of his career, the police officer is afforded 2 diverse views of the criminal. At first, the rookie cop is taught to distrust the criminal at every turn, without exception. He's schooled in the 1,001 ways in which the criminal operates, his psychology, his mode of operation. Then, when he's thoroughly acquainted with the methods of the criminal and how best to detect them, the police officer starts to learn the most difficult lesson of all: how to distinguish between the confirmed criminal and the lawbreaker, in whom there is hope of rehabilitation. After 9.5 years of police work, my first experiment in this field was with Max Tyler. I'd given him 2 chances to prove himself, and he'd lost on both of them. So did I. 2 months before his parole hearing, which might have given him his freedom, Max Tyler had suddenly decided to escape. How he figured it, I didn't know, but it was my job to find him. At 5 o'clock that afternoon, Ben and I met in the chief of detective's office. 2 officers, Holland and Grayson, from the State Adult Authority Escape Detail, were there.
How did Tyler manage his escape, Grayson?
Well, same old story. They figured they could trust him up there. He had a good job on the prison farm. They trusted him.
When did they find out he was gone?
On the early morning count. Have you checked his relatives out in Inglewood yet?
Yeah, we have. We've got the home staked out. We're covering all the places we figure he might go.
How about Mrs. Tyler? You get in touch with her Friday?
Her relatives told us that she's on a weekend vacation with the 2 kids, staying with friends down at Laguna Beach.
We got a call in to them. Should be hearing from them soon.
I understand Tyler's a friend of yours, Friday. He was ready for parole.
Yeah, I was trying to help it along. I thought the guy deserved a break.
He didn't need you, Joe. He made his own.
I know he was feeling bad. You weren't the only one fooled, Friday. You had the prison officials buffaloed, too.
Yeah, I know. I helped convince them. You got any leads on Tyler at all, Grayson? I mean, from the time he broke prison?
Pretty strange. They traced him as far as Stockton, and then they lost the trail completely.
The Stockton police in on the search?
Yeah, sure funny. The guy has no money, no car we know of, no change of clothes.
You figure he's getting help from somebody?
Could be.
Excuse me a minute. Brown speaking. Yeah, just a moment. You, Friday.
Well, thank you. Friday? Yeah. When? Where? Just a minute. Will you hold on, please? It's the Tyler's friends down at Laguna Beach.
Mrs. Tyler there?
No, she called him last night about 7 o'clock. Told him she'd changed her plans. She wasn't coming.
She told them where she was going?
She wanted to know which highway would take her to Stockton. We told the Tyler's friends in Laguna Beach to contact us immediately if they heard from either Mr. or Mrs. Tyler. We got out an APB on Dorothy Tyler, and then we drove out to interview her relatives in Inglewood. They told us that Mrs. Tyler had the 2 children with her. She had left their house at 6 p.m. the night before by taxi. As far as they knew, she didn't own a car. We talked with some of her friends in the neighborhood. The only thing they could tell us was that she had not borrowed a car from any of them. We drove down to the telephone exchange where she was employed as an operator, and we spoke with a manager, a Mr. Ralph Cartwright.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. This is Mrs. Tyler's night off. Is there something I can help you with?
When is Miss Tyler due back at work, Mr. Cartwright?
Well, she's working the 10 to 7 starting tomorrow, due in at 10 a.m.
We understand that she's on a weekend vacation, huh?
Yes, you see, today was payday, so she asked me if she could have her check ahead of time. Said she had to have the money for the weekend.
Did you give her the check?
Oh, my, no. I couldn't give her the check ahead of time. But I did do her a favor, just to help her over the weekend.
What was that?
I loaned her my car.
We got a complete description of the car together with a license number and called the office. The information was broadcast to all units throughout the city and teletyped to all points in the state. Chief of Detectives Thad Brown ordered an immediate stakeout on the telephone exchange where Mrs. Tyler was employed. The stakeout at the home of Inglewood continued. Another day passed. We checked with the bank where Mrs. Tyler maintained her account. It was 10:25 a.m. when we got back to robbery detail.
Gentlemen, what'd you find out?
Miss Tyler closed her account 3 days ago, withdrew all her savings, $46.55.
And they're not going to go far on that.
Any word about that car she borrowed?
Teletype came in about an hour ago. They found it just outside Santa Barbara, abandoned.
Anyone see the Tylers?
No reports.
I wonder how those poor kids are making out.
He must be crazy, and his wife, too. If she was going to help him pull an escape, why'd she have to drag the kids along?
It's the way some parents figure, Friday. They owe their children nothing. The children owe them everything.
Call for you, Friday. Take it on 2.
Oh, thanks, Larry. Friday.
This is Hopkins, Friday, on stakeout at the phone exchange.
Yeah, Bert.
Tyler woman came for a check. We got her.
Dorothy Tyler was brought into the city hall. With her was one of her children. He was delivered to the juvenile authorities for the time being. Mrs. Tyler was brought to the interrogation room. She refused to admit anything to the officers from the adult authority. She said she wanted to talk to me. I went in. She threw her arms around me and started crying.
Joe, you won't let him get Max, will you? You won't let him.
I'm after him as much as they are, maybe more. Where is he?
I can't tell you.
Why'd you do it, Dorothy? Why?
Oh, you know why, Joe. You know why. I had to see him. I had to be with Max.
It's a bum deal. You traded days for years.
They can't get him. If I don't tell them where he is, they won't find him.
They'll find him. He's got to eat, so do you and the kids. He has to go to work, and working with a gun is all he knows. He'll leave a trail. We'll find him.
Children. What have they done to the children? Where's Jimmy?
They're taking care of him. That's more than you did. Where's your other boy, Vance?
Max. Max has him.
Oh, that's fine. You and Max ought to be real proud of yourselves.
I had to see him. You know that. I had to see Max.
Has he got a gun? Has he? Has he used it?
No. He just thought he might need it. He hasn't hurt anyone. I swear it.
You helped him escape, is that right? You helped him.
He needed help. I met him at San Rafael. We drove all night. He didn't hurt anyone, Joe. He hasn't hurt anyone.
Where is he now? Where is he? All right, Dorothy, we'll find him.
Joe, if I tell you, will you go alone? I can show you the way. Will you go alone?
Yeah?
All right. I'll take you to him, Joe. I trust you.
Yeah, I trusted him once, too. 5 p.m., Monday, April 25th. Dorothy, Tyler, Ben, and I got in the car and headed north for the coast town of Santa Maria. Acting under orders of Chief of Detectives Thad Brown, Larry Thompson from Robbery Detail followed in another car. Holland and Grayson from the State Adult Authority were with him. It was 10 minutes past 8 when we drove through the town of Santa Maria. Just outside the city, Dorothy Tyler directed us to turn off onto a dirt road. We drove about 2 miles. She told us to pull up.
Across that field. Shack by those trees.
Lonely out here.
I'll go with you, Joe. Maybe Max won't understand.
Oh, you stay here.
Joe, that car stopped here.
It's cops, Dorothy. It had to be. They won't shoot unless Max does.
But you promised. You said you'd go alone.
I'll go alone.
Friday?
Hello, Grayson.
Where is he? She tell you?
That shack over there across the field by that clump of trees.
He's got one of the kids with him, that right?
Yeah, he won't be any trouble.
He's armed. The cons up at Quentin say he won't be taken alive. They say he'll shoot it out.
They talk a lot.
You better let us take him. You're not getting paid for this one.
I'll take him alone. I made a promise.
That guy in the shack's in the habit of breaking promises.
I keep mine. Keep an eye on Miss Tyler, will you, Ben?
Thompson's watching her. I'm coming with you.
I told her I'd go alone.
There's 2 doors, front and back. Which one you going in?
Front.
I'll be around back. Careful, Joe.
Yeah. I'll be right back, Grayson. I started to cross the field. The shack was about 100 yards from the road. The field was uncultivated, and I wasn't sure of my footing. I stumbled over a tree stump. Halfway across the field, the lights in the shack went out.
Who's that? Who is it?
It's me, Max. Joe Friday. Max? Come on, open up. All right, Max.
Why the gun, Joe? I never thought you'd take me with a gun.
I never thought I'd have to kick down a door to get you. You've changed a lot, Max.
How'd you find me, Dorothy tell you? Where is she?
Outside. Your boy over there, Vance.
He's sleeping. He's okay.
Put out your hands. Put out your hands.
Oh. I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
You've been good to us. I won't try to explain.
Neither will I, Max. Come on.
The story you have just heard was true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent.
On June 2nd, trial was held in Superior Court, City and County of Marin, State of California. In a moment, the results of that trial.
It's amazing how many long cigarette smokers are changing to Fatima. Here are the actual figures. New York Division.
Fatima sales up 132%.
Los Angeles Division.
Fatima sales up 545%.
St. Louis Division.
Fatima sales up 548%.
Yes, in 1949, more and more smokers discovered that Fatima is the best of all long cigarettes.
They found Fatima extra mild.
They found Fatima has a much different, much better flavor.
They found the name Fatima means the best in cigarette quality.
In 1950, enjoy Fatima yourself. Best of all long cigarettes.
Max Tyler pleaded guilty to the charge of escape and was sentenced to the term as prescribed by law. He was returned to San Quentin and then transferred to Folsom Penitentiary, where he is now serving his sentence. You have just heard Dragnet, a new series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice for Dragnet comes from the Office of Acting Chief of Police, W.A. Wharton, Los Angeles Police Department.
Dragnet honors the state of California and the men of the California Highway Patrol, another of America's outstanding law enforcement agencies. One of these men, Highway Patrol Commissioner Clifford E. Peterson, outstanding administrator and educator in the field of law enforcement, dedicates his life to making yours more secure.
Fatima Cigarettes, best of all long cigarettes, has brought you Dragnet from Los Angeles.
Be sure to hear Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman in the Halls of Ivy starting tomorrow on NBC. Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Fatima Cigarettes, best of all long cigarettes, brings you Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to Narcotics Bureau. A vicious criminal has resumed operations in your city. His profession, dealer in narcotics. You know his name, You know he's guilty. Your job, prove it.
If you want a long cigarette, smoke the best of all long cigarettes. Smoke Fatima. Fatima is the long cigarette which contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos superbly blended to make Fatima extra mild. And that's why Fatima has a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette. That's why Fatima has more than doubled its smokers, coast to coast. So, if you want a long cigarette, smoke the best of all long cigarettes. Smoke Fatima.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Thursday, January 21st. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of Narcotics Bureau. My partner's Ben Romero. The boss is Thad Brown, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. I was on the way back into work, and it was 3:49 p.m. when I got to the main lobby of the City Hall. Public phone booth. Hello, Ma. This is Joe.
Joseph, you said you were going to be home at 4 o'clock.
Oh, I couldn't help it, Ma. They changed the schedule. I got my stuff all right. Thanks for packing it.
Well, I put your socks and your clean T-shirts on the bed. Did you put them in your bag?
Yeah, I got them.
Got them off the clothesline right after you called. They weren't quite dry, or I would have packed them for you.
I got them all right. Listen, Ma, I'll call you whenever I get the chance. Now, don't worry.
How long are you going to be gone?
I haven't any idea. Maybe a month. All depends.
How can I get in touch with you?
You can't. Call Ben. He'll get the message to me somehow.
Where is it you're going, Joseph?
Well, I'm not going anyplace, Ma. I'll be right here in the city, but I just won't be able to come home for a little while. It's a special job.
No, like the last time.
Yeah.
Well, you be careful now. Watch what you order when you're eating out in those awful restaurants,
Yes.
and get your rest.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
need plenty of rest.
Yeah, okay, Ma. I'll be all right.
I was shopping today. I bought a nice loin roast for dinner tomorrow night. Now, you won't be here.
Why don't you invite the neighbors over? The Newtons? That'd be good company for you.
Well, maybe I'll ask your Aunt Elizabeth over.
Yeah. Now, don't worry. If you want to get in touch with me, you deliver the message to Ben, okay?
Yes, all right. What kind of work you be doing? It's going to be dangerous?
Oh, it's just another job, Ma. It'll work out. I'll call you when I can.
All right, Joseph. And be careful now. And take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too. Goodbye, Ma.
Joseph. Bye.
I left the phone booth and started down the corridor. I went up a short flight of stairs and turned left. The afternoon crowd in the City Hall seemed heavier than usual. I walked past the elevators and turned right down another corridor. It was 3:58 p.m. when I got to room 24, Narcotics Bureau. Captain White?
Hi, Joe.
You want to take these?
Yeah, sure.
It's my badge.
Okay.
There's all my identification and my gun.
Right. I'll take care of them for you.
These clothes look all right?
Just a minute. Now, let's see. Yeah. I don't like that tie. Romero,
Yes, Skipper?
let's see your tie. Yeah, swap with Friday, will you, Ben?
Christmas tie's pretty loud.
Mine's not.
That's the idea. Here's some stuff to carry in your pocket. Social security card, ID card, all made out to Joe Kyber.
Mm-hmm.
Some book matches from St. Louis, a couple from Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
You pick up another gun?
I loaned him my .25 automatic.
It's small. It's easy to carry.
Suit yourself. I don't have to tell you to be careful.
No.
It's a chance we've been waiting for, Joe. A lot depends on you.
I'll do what I can.
Just one thing I want to tell you. Take your time. Take all the time you need. Don't push it.
I understand. No time limit.
Your time's up when they find out who you are.
Captain Lynn White and I left the Narcotics Bureau together with Ben and Johnny Bingham. We went down the hall to the office of Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. As in most major narcotic cases, the plan involved the coordinated work of all three offices, the federal, state, and our own local bureau. The operation involved a great many men and a lot of time. When we got to the chief of detective's office, 2 men were with him. Bill Craig, the agent in charge of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics for the Southern California area, and Inspector Virgil Beckner, head of the State Narcotics Bureau for our district. All of us had one common goal, the apprehension and conviction of 2 men, Arthur Belmont and Ralph Costello. The first man on the list, Ralph Costello. Chief Brown outlined the overall plan.
Craig, your federal men have been tracking Costello off and on for 3 years now. Beck's over your state agents. Same for our men.
This time we can't afford to miss.
You figure an undercover man working locally? Is that right, Chief?
Yeah, Craig, he'll start right from the bottom, work up the line till he gets to Costello, if he gets there. Beck?
Where are you going to start?
Captain White, would you lay it out for Beck and Craig?
Yeah. Friday here's going to handle the job. He's got his full instructions. Joe, you want to fill him in?
All right. I'll make my first contact tonight. I'll meet in a bar down on South Pico with another one of our undercover men, Benny Arredondo. He'll introduce me as Joe Kyber to one of his informants. The informant is supposed to help get me into the Flats gang.
The same bunch running on the south end of town?
Yeah, small-time peddlers, precurious, a little bit of everything. Go on, Friday.
When I get in the gang, I run with them until I find out where and how they make their buys.
After you get a contact, you make buys all the way up the line and get as close as you can to the top.
Yeah, that's right.
You worked out your contact with us?
He knows that under no conditions will he be seen around the department here.
It's been set up that I have a hotel room lined up down on the east side. Romero here and Captain White will be my only contact with the office. I'll be using the name Joe Kyber.
Sounds all right to me. How about you, Craig?
How about that informant Friday? Can you count on him?
Arredondo thinks a lot of him. He says he's a good man.
He's the first rung on the ladder. He's got to be solid.
Well, if he's not, we won't have far to fall.
Depends on how you look at it. You can kill yourself in the bathtub.
8 p.m., Thursday, January 21st. I checked in at the Casino Hotel on Terminal Street. I registered as Joe Kyber, Omaha, Nebraska. I was given the key for room 5. The rent was $7 a week. I unpacked a few things I had in my bag, went down the hall, and took a shower. I went down to the lunchroom on the corner. I had an egg sandwich and a cup of coffee. It was 11:18 p.m. when I walked into Blue Wright's Bar and Grill. I ordered a beer and sat down. I watched the missing persons program on the television set above the bar.
Lose somebody, Kyber?
Hello, Benny.
Been here long?
I just got here. Where's your boy?
Sitting over there with that fella in the blue suit. Name's Gene.
Who is the guy in the blue suit?
One of the Flats gang. Gene's lining up your introduction now. Guy's name is Ludwig. I call him Lud. He knows me as Steve.
Right. What do we do?
Sit tight till Gene gives us the word. The tie of yours looks like it's on fire.
Look all right?
I wouldn't wear it. Lud would. Get in the hotel okay?
Yeah, all set. Room 5.
Gene wants us. Let's go.
Okay.
Hi, Steve. So your boy got here?
Yeah. Gene, meet Joe Kyber.
Hi.
This is Lud. Joe Kyber, Lud.
Sit down. You like the fights, Kyber?
Yeah. They got nothing out here in that line. I used to go to the Garden when I was east.
I got some fine cards at the Legion.
Where?
Hollywood Legion, Friday night. Some classy-looking fighters out there.
Where's that?
Out in Hollywood. Nice little stadium.
I'd like to go with you sometime.
Tomorrow?
I got a date. Maybe next week.
Bring her along. A lot of women go.
Not this one.
Okay.
Hey, you guys hungry?
I could eat.
Yeah.
Joe?
Sure. How about here?
Nobody eats here.
Steam table over there. The stuff smells pretty good.
So does garbage if the wind's blowing the other way. Let's get a French dip sandwich, huh?
How about Galbraith's over on Sotelo?
Okay. How about you guys?
Sure.
Well, let's go. All right. You from the east, Kyber?
Omaha, Memphis, all around.
Yeah. You don't talk very much.
You do.
You talk tough. Are you tough?
Sometimes.
This place we're gonna go eat, sometimes the meat's tough, too.
Yeah?
Just like a piece of tough meat, you can always cut it down to size.
The following week at the fights, I met some of the other members of the Flats gang. They were a typical group of hoodlums. Unlike fiction writers have portrayed them, generally gangs of this type do not operate under a gang leader. Each member considers himself the best of the lot. For all practical purposes, they didn't need a leader. But as in any group, some men are more dominant than others. Lud was one of these. Because of his tough manner, I observed that the gang members placed confidence in Lud. It was then that I decided that I had to be tougher than he was if the gang was going to accept me. 5 weeks went by. March 7th. There was still no mention by any of them that they were either using or dealing in narcotics.
Come on in, Kyber. Sit down.
Lud?
Kyber, meet Jerry Phil.
Hi. I picked up the tickets for the basketball game tonight.
Good seats?
Yeah, they look okay.
Got an extra, Ducky? Maybe I'll tag along.
Yeah, we got 4.
You look kind of sad, Cab.
He always looks that way. First he was tough, now he's sad.
Oh, you and that mouth. You know it all, don't you?
No offense, you look a little low.
I don't know about you, Cab, but I'm a little under par. I'm going to have myself a pop. You interested?
No, I don't use it.
Why don't you try it? You might get a kick out of it.
I have. It's all right going up, but it's nothing coming down.
That's where you make a mistake. Stay up. Don't come down. Fella.
You heard what he said, Jerry. You don't like it.
How does he know? He never stayed up long enough.
Take your pop and shut up.
You talk about Kaiba trying to be tough, you think you're the big wheel around here.
That's enough.
You gotta quit giving orders, Lud. You know better than the rest.
Look, little man, knock off that kind of talk and keep us both happy.
Sure. The boss, man.
You know, I got one positive way to shut you up.
Why don't you two quit it?
This concerns me and Phil. You keep your mouth shut.
Well, don't get mad at me. I only wanted to save an argument.
Can it, I say.
Now, look, big mouth, you can push Phil around, but not me.
Now you're playing the tough guy again, ain't you?
Why don't you go over there and sit down, huh?
You sit me down, punk.
All right, now listen to me, both of you. I'm tired of being talked down to like a junior member of the firm. You either treat me equal or leave me alone. You understand?
You had it coming, Lud.
Yeah.
I'd put that bottle down, Lud.
Where'd you get that gun? You carry that thing right along?
Right along. Put it down, Lud.
Okay. I'm long on memory, Cabba. Remember that.
Yeah, and I'm real short on patience with you.
Well, I still ain't had my pop. Better hurry. I don't want to miss the game. You got good seats, huh, Cabba? They're not too low. I can't see nothing if they're too low.
Don't worry. You'll be high enough. 2 months went by. By playing the tough guy, I gained a great deal of prestige in the eyes of the other gang members. Jerry Fell made sure that all the members heard about that episode up in Lud's room. Dealers and users of narcotics rarely carry guns. The members of the Flats gang were small-time peddlers and users. They're referred to as mules or small fry. When they found that I carried a gun at all times, they were impressed. They considered me one of them. Since the very beginning of my undercover work, I met weekly with Ben Romero and Captain Lynn White of the Narcotics Bureau. I would be picked up at a different location each time, making sure that I wasn't followed, and we would remain in the car and drive around in a remote section of the city discussing my progress with the gang. During this first 3-month period, under the pretext that I had clients to furnish, I made 2 small narcotics buys, one for $13 and one for $8. As soon as the purchases were made, I would mark them for identification, contact Ben, and then turn the narcotics over to him to be booked as evidence by the property clerk at Central Division. Another month went by. Thursday, June 5th, 11 p.m. We had just returned from the midget auto races, and we were sitting around in Lud's room.
You mentioned something out at the races, Cabba. Now what's on your mind?
I told you, Lud, I need a half a dozen caps right away. I got people putting the bite on me. Old customers.
How old can they be? You only been out here 5 months, remember?
When they're hooked, they get to be old customers in a month.
I fixed up 2 buys with Morse for you. Tony says he can't handle anymore. Hasn't got enough around. You got on board late, you know. All of us are ahead of you.
Tony can get more. Who's his source?
Couple of guys. I know him.
How about an office to one of them?
You deal with Tony.
You said he hasn't got enough.
That's right, I did.
Okay. How much do you want?
They're your customers. What's it worth?
They'll pay. What's the guy's name?
Costello's one of them. He'll have enough for you.
Who's the other guy?
You deal with Costello for now.
Where can I meet him?
Morse will set it up for you. I got to meet him in an hour. Come in.
Police officers. Shake it down, Donahoe.
What's the trouble?
Checking for a robbery suspect. Find anything, George?
Room's clean.
We don't know anything about a heist.
You'll have to come downtown and answer a few questions. What's the matter with you, fella? You look like we spoiled your party.
Yeah, you spoiled it.
You are listening to Dragnet, authentic stories of your police force in action. Now, here's an authentic report from Fatima Cigarettes.
In 1949, Fatima more than doubled its smokers from coast to coast.
In 1950, enjoy Fatima yourself.
You'll find Fatima extra mild.
Because Fatima is the long cigarette which contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos superbly blended to make Fatima extra mild.
You'll find Fatima tastes much better.
Fatima's superb blend gives you a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette.
You'll find Fatima best in cigarette quality.
Fatima has always stood for the best in cigarette quality. For a new year of greater smoking enjoyment, Buy Fatima in the appealing gold and yellow package. You'll agree, Fatima is the best of all long cigarettes.
The chance of my being picked up while working on an undercover assignment was one which all of us had considered. Since only a handful of men out of some 5,000 working police officers in the department knew anything about our narcotics investigation, we knew that such an occurrence was not impossible. It's one of the chances we had to take. In this instance, we lost, and the critical meeting with one of the men we were after was forestalled. How long our detention at police headquarters would delay my meeting with Ralph Costello was anybody's guess. Could mean weeks or maybe months. I was booked on suspicion of 211 PC, robbery. So was Ludd. The next afternoon, I was taken from cell block 10D2 to the interrogation room.
Come on in and sit down, Khyber. How are you, Friday?
It was a tight squeeze.
The booking number's been canceled, Joe. Print's been stopped.
Those two men from robbery who pulled me in, Wynn and Donahoe, I thought I was in trouble for a minute.
They had no idea you were in that room. Once they got up there, they had to follow through.
Well, they played it right. They remembered their etiquette.
If either one of them had said hello before you did, you might have been in big trouble.
Well, I'm in big trouble anyway. I had a meet all set with Costello. Almost set, anyway.
Just a case of bad timing on that pickup, huh?
Well, if they'd have got there 2 hours later, it might have been different.
Well, how do you stand now? How close are you to Costello?
I need some more money. I got to pay off Ludd.
And he'll take you to Costello if you pay the right price?
Yeah. Ludd's working through Morse. You know about him.
Remember, Friday, if there's any questions when you get back to that gang, you were booked for CCW. You're out on bail.
Yeah.
I got you another gun, Joe. 32 automatic, okay?
Yeah, thanks. I couldn't go back with the same one. What about the federal and state men? How are they doing?
Pretty good. Federal men picked up Costello in Fresno. He was connected with the sale of 6 cans of H.
Mm-hmm. That much heroin up there. No wonder Ludd can afford to hold me up. He knows there's a shortage down here.
Case isn't too strong against him. When it looked definite that we had him, they were going to call you off. He's out on bail.
Costello's back down here now.
Yeah. Seems like we get our hands on the guy, but we can't hold him. Narcotics in their possession or under their control. That's what the book says. That's the way we got to get him.
We'll get him that way.
It's up to you now, Friday. Stay with it and keep your chin covered.
Well, if you need anything, Joe, call. Your mother's been over at the house for dinner a few times. She's okay.
Thanks. Tell her I'm all right, will you?
Sure. She worries a lot about you, Joe. Anything happened to you, it'd just about kill her.
That makes 2 of us. I'll see you. Before I left the city hall, Captain White drew out some more money from the Secret Service Fund. This fund is for the sole purpose of undercover work. This latest amount was for the narcotics buy that I hoped to make with Ralph Costello. An hour before I left, Ludd was released on a writ that he had arranged for. Saturday, June 7th, 9 a.m. I checked back into my room at the Casino Hotel. During the 3 weeks that followed, I kept asking Ludd to arrange a meeting for me with Tony Morse, the next man on the ladder, on the way up to Costello. Ludd kept stalling me. Another week went by. Captain Lynn White, Ben, and I held our regular weekly meetings. On July 6th, Ludd told me that a meeting with Morse had finally been arranged for 8 p.m. that night. I called Ben and told him I'd meet him and the captain immediately after I talked with Morse. At 8 p.m., following the instructions Ludd had given me, I was in the downstairs waiting room at the subway terminal at 5th and Hill. I was told to wait by the apple vending machine.
Excuse me, mister.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Khyber?
Yeah. You Morse?
That's right. Want an apple?
No, thanks.
Well, sit down.
All right.
Now, what'd you have in mind?
I got a couple of $100 to spend. Can you handle it?
Who sent you?
You know who sent me.
Sure I do. I just want to hear you say it.
Ludd.
We can handle it. What'd you have in mind?
I said $200 worth. That's 40 caps.
We got it.
None of that Mexican junk. I want European stuff.
You bought before. You'll take what we got.
That last buy I made through Ludd, the junk was cut to nothing. I can only use so much milk of sugar, you know.
By the time it got to you, it was probably cut pretty thin. So was the price you paid for it.
I'm not looking for bargains. I push to good people. I want good stuff.
You'll do better this time. You're not dealing with Ludd. Sure, we cut it. No more than anybody else. Not as much as Ludd.
When can I get it?
You got some sick people?
Couple.
Have it for you in an hour.
Where's the meat?
Got a watch?
Yeah.
What time you got?
12 minutes after 8.
Add a minute. Make it 13 after.
Okay.
An hour from now. 9:13. Meet Ludd at Macy and Brooklyn on the corner. He'll tell you what to do.
Will Ludd have it?
Meet Ludd at 9:13. See you later, Khyber.
Oh, wait a minute. How do I know you're leveling?
How do we know you are?
I went out the front of the subway terminal building. I took a cab down to 7th and Main. I got off and walked into Pop Sherman's bar. I called the office and set up a meeting with Ben and the captain. I ordered a beer, paid for it, left my change in the bar, asked the bartender to watch it, told him I'd be right back. I went out the back way, crossed the alley, and got down to Los Angeles Street. I walked up to 9th and picked up a cab to take me to Fulton and Covina Avenue. I got out and walked 2 blocks. It was 8:41.
Joe?
Hi.
You meet Morse?
Yeah.
Sure nobody tailed you?
I took all the precautions.
What's the setup?
I'm not sure, and I don't have much time. I'm going to make the buy tonight.
When?
9:13.
You don't have much time. Kind of rushing it, aren't they?
I figured I'd better play along.
Who's the meet with?
Morse told me to meet Ludd at Macy in Brooklyn. Said that he'd carry it from there.
Costello in on it?
I don't know. You got it all.
All right. We'll start picking up the Flats gang. Everyone but Ludd.
What do you think? Well, the way I got it figured, Morse is Costello's runner. He checked me out, and as far as I could tell, he thinks I'm okay.
Yeah.
I got a hunch Ludd's going to take me to either Morse again or Costello or possibly both. I don't know where the actual meet's going to be.
That means a tail job. We'll have to pick you up at Macy in Brooklyn and stick with you until after Ludd leaves, if he does, and follow through with you.
Figure it wide, Skipper.
Don't worry, I know we're close. What time you got, Romero?
10 minutes to 9.
Turn down the next block.
Right.
Pull up here, Ben.
Okay.
Here you go, Friday. Keep your chin covered.
Yep.
Hey,
Hello, Phil.
friends of yours in the car?
Why?
I know them. They ain't friends of mine.
I didn't say I knew him.
I don't know the guy driving, but the other guy, I seen him lots. Just about 4 weeks ago, we all seen him, huh? That fuzz, white, narcotics man.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've been riding me since they picked me up with a gun.
Won't do, cop. Narcotics man ain't got nothing on you. That was robbery, remember?
They got a make on me from Nebraska. They've been on me ever since I got here.
That figures. You're one of them.
All right, look, Jerry. I'll argue with you later. I'm in a hurry. I got to meet Ludd.
I tag along. I want to see Ludd, too.
You going to spill to Ludd about what you think?
Maybe. I figure I owe it to him. I known him a lot longer than you. I know he ain't no cop.
And you're sure that I am?
I know you are. Let's see what Ludd thinks.
Yeah. All right, come on. On your feet. Get out. I looked at my watch. It was 2 minutes to 9. In 15 minutes, I had to meet Ludd. I had to hit Jerry Fell. I couldn't take the chance of him getting to Ludd before I did. I couldn't leave him. I couldn't take him with me. I pulled him to his feet and half dragged and half carried him 2 blocks before I spotted a patrolman. Hey, officer! Officer, over here!
Yeah, what's the trouble?
I'm Friday, Central Narcotics.
Yeah.
Take this man and get him downtown. Contact Chief Brown. He'll identify me. Serial number 2288, Friday, Narcotics. The suspect's name here is Jerry Fell. You got it?
Yeah, you got some kind of identification?
No, I haven't. Not a thing. This is special duty.
I'm sorry, I don't know you. I have to hold you till I call in.
All right, but hurry, huh?
Call box right here. This is Carlson, box 117. Check on a matter with Chief of Detectives Brown, will you? Yeah, that's right. Have a man here who identifies himself as Friday. What's your first name?
Joe Friday. Tell him to hurry.
Yeah. Joe Friday, Central Narcotics, serial number 2288. Says he's in a hurry, holding a suspect, Jerry Fell. I'll hold on.
Yeah, my watch says 5 after 9. What time you got?
I got 6 minutes after. It might be a little fast.
Any cab stands around here?
4 blocks up the street.
Which way?
That way. Yeah. Okay, I will. Thank you. Okay, Sergeant. Sorry to hold you up. Need any help?
No, you just hang on to this guy. Don't let him go. I started to run. Macy in Brooklyn. 6 blocks away, and I had 8 minutes to make it. A narcotics buy is one date you're not late for. Either you're there at the specified time or there's no deal. The veteran narcotics peddler knows that that's the only safe way for him to operate. A minute, one way or the other, could mean an arrest. I ran.
You're out of breath, Khyber. Anything wrong?
No, the cab broke down. I didn't want to be late.
Yeah, you got 40 seconds. That's cutting it pretty thin, but it'll do. Come on.
All right.
Right here.
By this lamppost?
That's it, right in front of it. Don't move to the left or right. Stay put. They'll handle the rest. So long.
Get in, Khyber. Got the money?
Right here.
50, 60. Yeah, 200. Here's your package.
Okay.
That's it.
Joe Kyber, meet Ralph Costello.
Hi.
Hello. Out this side, Kyber.
Okay, I'll see you.
Did you make the buy Friday?
Yeah, take him.
Hi, Joe.
Ben, thought you were with the captain.
They don't need me. That intersection's blocked off up there. They're pulling them over right now. See?
Yeah. They got him.
Costello in the car?
Yeah.
And that's half of the team. Now what?
We go after the big man, Arthur Belmont.
Took us 7 months and 4 days to get to Costello. Lots of time.
Yeah. Always seems to work out that way, doesn't it?
What's that?
They always run out of time before we do.
The story you have just heard was true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent.
On July 6th at 10:45 p.m., Ralph Costello was taken to the Narcotics Bureau, the interrogation room. In a moment, the results of that interrogation.
It's amazing how many long cigarette smokers are changing to Fatima. Here is the actual report.
From coast to coast, Fatima has more than doubled its smokers.
Yes, more and more smokers every day are discovering that Fatima is the best of all long cigarettes.
Smokers find Fatima has a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette.
They find that Fatima is extra mild because it's the long cigarette which contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos superbly blended to make it extra mild.
Enjoy extra mild Fatima yourself. Best of all long cigarettes. With the promise of the United States District Attorney that his prison terms for the possession and sale of narcotics would run concurrently rather than consecutively, Ralph Costello agreed to furnish us vital information concerning the #1 narcotics dealer on the Pacific Coast, Arthur Belmont.
Next week, the big man, Arthur Belmont.
You have just heard Dragnet, a new series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice for Dragnet comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.A. Wharton, Los Angeles Police Department.
Fatima Cigarettes, best of all long cigarettes, has brought you Dragnet from Los Angeles.
Hear Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman in the Halls of Ivy tomorrow evening on NBC.